You know when you're really tired and you're trying to play games, and like you just don't really perform all that well.
Perform like a multiplayer game?
Yeah, or just in general, you just like you're making like extra mistakes because you're just not paying attention. Like I feel like that's me if I was doing that.
Oh, okay.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not like if I'm playing games to like I have to be focused. I can't be tired. I can't be drunk.
Yeah.
The only time if I'm drunk is like if I'm playing games, it's like drunk Mario Kart or something like that.
Yeah.
Even being on my phone, like while I'm like I don't know, like my phone is just distracting in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just insane the difference.
Yeah. But
I be focused. Like I forget that I'm in the world. Like I'm in the game.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in the game. That's
do you play a lot of mobile games?
No.
No, I don't either. No. I don't either. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. We are your Peapod boys.
Peapod. You know, it's Pedro in the building.
I mean, I guess you can call this a building. And you got Justin
in the building.
In the building. And today we are talking about how mobile gaming has changed the way we game. Today we're talking about how mobile gaming has changed the way we game and the way that we look at gaming and the way that gaming is going to go from here to the future. Just imagine 50 years from now. It's crazy.
No, I think we're here already.
We are in the future of gaming, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. Virtual reality, which we're not here to talk about right now, but we could talk about that in a future episode. And we're literally in the prime stage right now where literally we're getting 4K gaming at 60 frames if you have like a powerful PC, right? Would you consider most games on console 4K 60?
See, I wouldn't even know, but I would like to think so. I mean,
yeah. I mean, the resolution is pretty high, I would say. If it's not 4K, it's like 1440.
I think it should be almost every game.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Now, is it max settings like on PC? No. But it is pretty high. Now, obviously, like you're not going to get 4K 60 frames with the best textures and the best like and ray tracing on mobile gaming, right? Which is a negative of it.
Can we get there though?
On mobile gaming?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Like some positive and negatives of mobile gaming is mobile gaming has stemmed a new wave of gaming. And mobile gaming has been around for a decent amount of time, right? Like you remember Flappy Bird, Jetpack Joyride.
I remember that.
Doodle Jump. You remember Doodle Jump?
I don't.
Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
I love Clash of Clans.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Masters. Like all those games, I mean, Duel Masters is kind of like more current, right? But even what's the Dragon Ball Spark or card game?
Dragon Ball card game?
Yeah, you were telling me about it the last podcast episode. There's Dragon Ball Z card game. You told me about this.
No way.
It's a...
It's like a collectible, card collectibles or something. I mean, I remember collecting those back in the day.
No, it's oh my god, I can't think. Dragon Ball Legends.
Legends.
Yes.
I told you about this.
Maybe you told me about something else. No, you're talking about the Marvel game. You were talking about that, the mobile Marvel game.
Oh, Marvel Snap.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah.
But there's a Dragon Ball. There's a Dragon Ball mobile game that came out.
There is
a while ago.
Yeah. And it's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I downloaded it, fell off of it pretty quickly. Stop coughing.
Okay.
But so what I was gonna say was, you had mentioned mobile gaming sweeping, right? But there's been a new transition from mobile gaming, right? And that's like handheld gaming, which, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I consider handheld gaming not the same thing as mobile gaming, but it is mobile gaming. Does that make sense?
So would you call the Switch a mobile gaming?
I know I'll get a lot of hate for that, but yes.
Wow. Dude.
But you do know, like let me explain why.
Yeah.
And the only reason why I consider the Switch as well as the Steam Deck as well as any other handheld is because the point of those handheld is to what?
On the go.
And what is mobile?
On the go.
That's why. I know they're different. And I know like one has they both have technically an app store, right? You know, you have your phone that has the app store or has the Google Play Store.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, on the Switch or on the Steam Deck, on the Switch, you're using the Nintendo library versus the Steam Deck, you're using Steam. They're just different versions of it. It's the same thing.
I mean, I get it.
You know, obviously they're different. There's different stereotypes behind like actual mobile gaming and handheld gaming.
Okay.
You know, one was actually built for the intention of playing video games, whereas the other one was more built for the intention of communication.
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Where would you draw the line? Like, okay, when would you consider mobile gaming like the same as like, you know, gaming on your couch? Like, is it the graphics? Is it like how it's, you see, like, is it the fluidity? Where would you draw the line? When would you, you don't have to, because I know it's hard when you consider something like you're dead set on it.
Yeah.
But like if there was a way that mobile gaming could like, hey, can you consider me actual gaming if I
can you consider me actual gaming?
If I don't know if it had you know, it would go as smooth as on your TV.
I think there's one thing that for me, this is my opinion. This is not like fact or anything like that. But for me, the main difference between mobile gaming and like actual gaming, I say actual gaming, but like I mean,
I know what you're talking about.
But gaming, like on a console or a PC versus gaming on your phone, I think the biggest difference are the games.
Okay, so if you see God of War coming to like a brand new God of War game coming to consoles and handhelds, like at the same time.
Oh, sorry. Like I'm so Pedro and I are basically sitting across from each other, and how we have our setup is like we both have MacBooks, and we have our phones. And make sure you hold your thought.
Okay.
So, but we both have iPhones, so we're using our iPhone cameras to record, so that way we're getting better like quality. But like all I can see is like Pedro's eyes like peering right over the top of my phone, and it's hilarious. Yeah. It's so funny.
I wasn't even thinking that, but now that I see it now.
Yeah, just see you like reaching over, like trying to see me. Anyway, so what were you asking?
Okay, so God of War, right?
Yeah.
And it has, let's say there's a new God of War game, let's say an Atreus based game, and it's getting released consoles and handhelds all throughout. Like, let's say something like the PlayStation Portable. Is it portable? The Portal, right?
Yeah.
PlayStation Portal.
Yeah.
And forget about all the, you know, the delay it has. It's as smooth as it is on your TV. Would you consider that gaming? Like just regular old gaming. No mobile, no nothing. According to your opinion.
Yeah, so like I guess yes, but what I was saying by like the games is like the big difference between mobile gaming and gaming is that like if Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out, it's coming out on PC, it's coming out on PlayStation and Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, chances of it coming out on Switch, maybe Switch 2, but. You know, but the point is, it's coming out on all platforms. The only platform it's not coming out on is mobile.
Okay, phone.
Because phones. Just because it's not powerful enough to. I mean, your phone is powerful, but it's not powerful enough to run those games. Eventually, I think it could be, but for now, I mean, Apple has Resident Evil 7 running on the iPhone.
Does it?
Yeah,
it probably does.
Yeah. Like Resident Evil running on the iPhone, and there's like one other game that they
get bigger and bigger.
One other game that they wanted to have run on the iPhone, and like to your point, it's going to get bigger and bigger. because the whole point in gaming is just like, at least now, is to game anywhere you want,
right?
Without an internet connection, you just have the game and you play it,
right?
And like, that's what Xbox Game Pass is trying to do.
Yeah,
like you play on any screen, it doesn't matter. Like they're even building it into TVs. There's like newer LG TVs that are like that you can buy today that come with Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah,
built into it.
Yep. It's
stop.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna get crazier and crazier. Like, could you imagine like MSI or Asus, these monitors building, instead of monitors, now they're building like decent sized tablets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you could use that is your monitor. Obviously, I don't think it would be a good selling point just being a screen, but they should have some type of like function to it other than just a screen. But imagine these companies making like tablet screens, and you could carry it around and carry your controller, and that's all you need. Put that in your backpack, and that's all you need.
I mean, the real hope with most technology is that like it gets smaller, right? Like the whole point I mean, obviously you have the PS5, which is this behemoth of a console, and PCs are still massive, just because like in a way they've gotten smaller, but they're still the same size. Like if you think about it, like PCs haven't gotten much smaller in the last like 20 years. It's still a tower.
Yeah.
I mean, it has gotten smaller in the sense of like what a computer actually used to be when they were first invented.
Right. But you said in the last 20 years, so I get that.
Like it's still tower and it's still monitor. Like, I mean, but I will say you have like optimized PCs where it's literally just like a little box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those are like the peak at like reducing the components down to the very smallest form factor.
And it could get crazy.
Yeah.
Like was the Apple Mini?
Yeah, the Apple Mini.
Yeah.
Which is crazy small. The price is ridiculously good, and the power that you're getting in that is unworldly for that tiny. The cooling, the power, and the size is just like, those are like, and the price is crazy.
See, now that you're hitting that point, would you consider, like, imagine if you could have a PC like that pair it up with a tablet, pair it up with a phone, and basically everything is off of that PC. You could just carry it around in your pocket.
I mean, that's kind of where we're headed, at least with like a phone, right? Like it's basically that. I mean, I feel like phones, at least now, have hit like this very stagnant period where it's just iteration after iteration. But like, because there's not a lot of like, I won't say there's not a lot of innovation, but there's not a lot of leaps and bounds compared to what there was like a couple years ago. Now we're on the wave of folding phones, and those are kind of like the next wave, but they're so expensive, and not every phone is doing them because they're risky. They're not selling a lot. So like they're not going to be the common buyer. But like if we backtrack a little bit back to mobile gaming, like microtransactions were one of the first things that were popularized via mobile gaming. Yeah. Like we never really saw, I mean, you never really had a lot of like micro interactions or loot crates or loot boxes in like traditional gaming until mobile gaming started really implementing them.
Can you think of any game on the top of your head
that uses microtransactions?
Yeah.
Well,
I think you could do it, obviously, like Clash of Clans.
Yeah, I mean Clash of Clans.
And I'm
definitely
guilty. Like I dropped
any later, like or new games or older games. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Well, Marvel Snap uses that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The Mario game that they came out for Mario Mobile. Yeah, there's microtransactions in that.
Microtransactions on a Mario game.
Bro. Yeah. Dragon Ball Legacy, the one that I was referring to earlier, microtransactions. I feel like most games have microtransactions in them now, especially those like scammy, like clickbait games.
Yeah.
That people like that people play.
Do you consider microtransactions like a still a big problem as it was maybe 10 years ago. 10 years ago, microtransactions probably was at the center of gaming problems.
I think it's still a problem.
But it's not. I feel like people are not bothered as much by them.
Yeah, you know why? Because like people are like, this skin is dope, and you know why? Because Fortnite's doing it all the time, and Apex Legends is doing it all the time, and Roblox is doing it all the time.
And at least you know what you get, because I mean, at least it's not like loot crates.
Yeah, loot crates was
that was an insane moment, bro.
They actually classified it as gambling in certain countries, right? I don't know.
Yeah, and I think that's the only reason why like it ceased to exist.
Yeah. And like,
I mean, it's probably still around.
If a game has loot crates in it, and I'm paraphrasing because again, I don't remember. I remember seeing it somewhere, but I can't credit it anywhere. But there's an instance where if it has loot crates in it, since it's considered a form of gambling, it has to specify that on the package or something like that.
Yeah,
definitely look into that. Don't quote me on that. But
no, I think you're right, and I feel like, after that, like every game like ditched them.
Well, yeah, I feel like they don't have them as often, but like to think that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 or Call of Duty in general, the majority of the money, I think it's Call of Duty. It's either that or Fortnite, but the majority of the money that they make isn't from like purchasing copies of the game or anything like that. It's strictly from buying skins and those microtransactions in it. Yeah. Which like I'm playing Call of Duty, right? And I'm playing Marvel Rivals, both of which have battle passes and it has microtransactions in it. And like, don't get me wrong, I see some cosmetics and stuff like that look really dope. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, who in the right mind would spend $20 to get this skin that does nothing for you besides look cool?
Me.
Have you bought stuff?
Yeah, I bought stuff.
Really?
They be looking cool, man. Yeah, I'm dumb as hell, but they be looking cool. It's probably my like if I'm invested in the game, if I like the game, I would drop money on it. Like,
so I will never ever spend money on microtransactions ever.
Yeah, I applaud you for that.
That's a sarcastic
no,
applause.
It's not.
Yes,
no,
it
it's
is.
Not. No, it's not.
You know what?
I'm serious. Whatever.
That was really uncalled for, bro. Like, really, you're gonna call me out like that? Cut it.
I'm the dumb one, bro. I'm the one like dropping money I shouldn't. And I'm the problem here. Okay?
It's not just you.
I know there's a lot of people that do this. Like I have a friend, and bro, he drops every time a skin drops, he has to have it. It's like it's a collection. Like he has to have it.
Bro.
And then he uses that skin for like a week, and then the next skin drops.
Good flip it to another one.
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy.
No, we tell him all the time. I'm like, but he gets paid. So
like money.
Like he gets paid.
Well, we all get paid, but like,
no, he gets paid like a lot of money.
Like $20
so he
an
doesn't
hour?
care. Huh?
Like $20 an hour?
Probably around like
10.
40 plus.
That's it?
That's it.
I mean
to me that's getting paid.
Bro, we make more than from the podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he's like, he doesn't care. But I mean, I get it, I guess.
Yeah.
But like even then, like to use a skin for a week and like barely use it again. I mean, but yeah, he probably changes his skin like every 2 matches, just because he can, because he has lots of skin. But at that point, you're playing the game just to, and you can't even see, like especially in COD, you can't even see the skin.
That's true.
It makes me look more dumb.
Well, here's the thing. Like I really like skins. I think they look dope, right? Yeah. I remember a time in Modern Warfare 2 and MW3 where you just had to earn the camos and stuff like that. Which, like, personally, I felt that those were way more rewarding. I know that's not the point. The point of skins and camos is to generate money. Like, I obviously know that. But, like, what I'm saying is like, for me, yeah, and, like, you have your traditional camos that you can get. You can get whatever the newer gold and like the other extra camo that you can get, but like I feel like they're cool, but they're definitely not as cool as the ones that you can buy. and they do that on purpose.
Oh yeah,
They 100%.
bro. Like the wonder you can buy, like it transform your weapon into like this, like it disintegrates and it comes back into a weapon. They make it look crazy, dude.
Yeah, but it's like for me, it's just like maybe I'm just still living in the past. I'm just still trying to like earn camos like the legit way.
I think that's just the fun of the game.
I
agree.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. Like the battle pass, because I can't really earn anything from it. Like getting the camos like from headshots is like, okay, I have something to like work towards.
It's a game.
Yeah. But like where if I just get the camo, it's like, well, this is boring. Like I paid money to get this. It's like almost like a pay to win. But it's you're not winning, but it's like you're skipping ahead to get, you know, and not everybody has time to sit down for like 3-4 hours to do that, right? But I think that's kind of the point of mobile gaming in general, right? The whole point is that you don't have time to sit down on the couch for 3-4 hours. Yeah. You don't have time to like, oh, like you have to go to the grocery store and you have to run errands. You got to go pick up the kids. You got to do this, blah, blah, blah.
Like on your work break and stuff like that.
On your work break. So like what's better? Pulling out your phone to play a game. Like you can play it anywhere. Yeah. But like that's kind of the same thing as bringing a Switch with you or the Steam Deck or any version of those handheld games. They are easier to, I will say wouldn't you agree that the ceiling to enter mobile gaming is a lot higher, is a lot easier?
Yeah, because everybody has his phone.
Yeah.
And now like your controller syncs with Bluetooth and everything. Yeah. You could just
you can pretty much use any controller now for your phone. And it's like at least today, and by today's standards, you can't buy. I mean, you can, but it's hard to buy a phone that's trash. Like in the sense of like, oh, I can't play these games because my phone won't run it. Like most games will work on whatever phone you have, which it's very rare if you have a phone that can't play a certain game.
Yeah. And very rare. And if you have a backbone, like you know what a backbone is?
Yeah.
Like, that makes it way more easier, you know, because it turns your phone into like a Switch.
I got to show you this new handheld, and I'll pop it up on the screen when I get it. But one second, I got it.
You good?
Sorry, I couldn't get it to move. New phone. Gaming accessory.
So it's an accessory that goes on your phone.
It is. I saw an ad for it. It's not Backbone, bro. It's a completely new thing, and it's in like a GoFundMe type of thing.
It makes it into a controller. Or?
It's, you know how like the Nintendo DS would like flip up, or you remember the Sidekick phone? It does that, but you like
it's a Vita. Not a Vita.
No, I would,
you know those.
I would say more of a Vita.
Okay.
Yeah, more of a Vita. It is crazy cool. And I saw an ad for it, and now I can't for the life of me find it. If I can find it, I'll pop it up on the screen, right there. But if anything, I'll show you after the podcast.
All right. It'll be the perfect time for PlayStation to drop the Vita 2 to compete with the Switch 2.
I don't know if this is a rumor or not, but I heard them talking about a PlayStation, another Vita. Which, let's be honest here, the PSP and the PlayStation Vita, way ahead of its time.
Way better than the PlayStation Portal, in my opinion.
But they, you know what I mean? They were way ahead of its time. Like they were doing handheld. I mean, Nintendo obviously had their own game handhelds too, but the PS Vita was basically what we're on right now. They're still doing the same thing. The only issue with the Vita, well, there's a couple of issues with it, like how it used games, but the main thing was oh my god, I'm blanking on it. Well, I guess it was just like the games, because you know, on the PSP it had those like weird, I can't remember what they're called, but those like games that you would slide in the back of it.
You know for the Vita?
No, for the PSP.
Yeah, it's like a disc in a case.
Yeah,
I remember those.
Yeah, wow. But some other. Hold on,
bro, you sleepy or something?
No, my eye is itchy. I think it's itchy.
This is Justin's real voice.
Yeah, just can you imagine just that nasally voice? No, not that there's anything wrong with nasally voices, but
Wow.
but like, let's be honest, bro. Downloading games on your phone. Do you got games on your phone? Wait,
Yeah, but
wait.
at least you don't have to wait.
It's wait. I mean, you do, but it's almost instant.
Almost instant, and like it doesn't take as much space as like like COD or GTA.
No, but imagine
like even in a game like Horizon, it's like at least 100.
That's it. No, but imagine one day where you are downloading a game on your phone, and it takes up like 30 gigs, 40 gigs.
Yeah,
that's to me, the games right now are like at a prime where like they're basically at the stage where games used to be on like PS2, PS3. They were like 322 megabytes,
Yeah.
And then you could easily play those. That's where games are right now. The crazy thing is like you can develop a game on your phone for a mobile phone that'll look about at PS3 graphics. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like PS3 graphics were literally required a whole system, like a whole built system for it. And now, like
on a phone.
Now it's just a phone. How do you feel about gaming like mobile gaming on your phone, mobile gaming as a whole? How do you feel about it?
See, I feel like it's the way to go. I feel like it's the way forward.
This is a therapy session,
but I know, like I feel, but I feel like I've been so used to like gaming on my TV or monitor that like it's just a preference.
Right.
What now? If you ask my nephew and my nieces, I feel like they probably gear more towards mobile.
Right.
And it kind of shocks me.
Yeah.
And now if you think about it, a lot of people, like if you're a parent, you would rather have your kid play on the phone. Oh, you could just let them borrow your phone.
Yeah.
Or you buy them a PS5.
You got games on your phone?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you either I let them borrow my phone for a few hours or drop 500.
Yeah.
But
for
that's
me,
that's the kind of stuff that's probably happening.
For me as a parent, I'd much rather drop the 500 on a console.
100%.
That way, like, because I would much rather.
Not every parent is like us.
I would much rather them play games than to have a phone with social media, with like everything that they have access to. I'd much rather have them
I agree.
on a console. But are you a true gamer if you're a mobile gamer? There's no real answer.
I have
to
to
that,
say,
like,
yeah. I have to say, yeah. Like, a gamer is a gamer, and like, I feel like you can go hardcore on like Clash of Clans, bro. I've seen it.
Bullshit,
bro. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. Like a clan, like that's dedicated, and I've seen it, and I consider that a gamer. And any type of person that's dedicated to a game, I consider a gamer. Now, me personally,
yes, personally,
I see Clash of Clans as like, I'm bored. I'm just gonna look at my phone, do everything I have to do, and that's it. Pay no mind.
You know the games that people used to play on Facebook games?
Yeah, like
that's what I consider mobile gaming.
I know, but we're a big step from that, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I know.
But yeah, you're right. When you mention mobile game, you're right. That's the first thing. It's like that's the vibe.
You're not a true gamer.
That's the
like
vibe.
That's the
Farmville.
Farmville, yes. That's like there's a general stigma behind mobile gaming as a whole.
Fruit Ninja. Those are the games that you think about, but we're
Flappy Bird.
So ahead of that. I know. We're so ahead of that. We're so ahead of that. Like I used to play. I remember. I used to play it's a ninja game where you go back and forth, like from wall to wall, and you have to go as high as you can, and then you have to collect some stuff. I forgot what the name of that game was.
Do you remember Subway Surfers?
No.
Subway Surfers?
What is that?
It's literally a character that. Okay. Do you remember Temple Run?
Yo, I used to go hard on that.
Temple Run was basically the same thing. Is the same thing as Subway Surfers. Temple Run existed first, but Subway Surfers is like a different iteration of that.
Hmm.
It's like a more cartoony version, and it's like a subway, and you're literally dodging like trains.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's that.
Sounds like Temple Run.
Yeah, it is.
Now,
Temple
a
Run.
lot of these games feel very arcadey. Now, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Would you consider like a person who goes to the arcade every day a gamer?
Yes.
But not a mobile gamer.
No.
Yeah, that's insane.
But you and I both share this stigma. Like, right? I'm not saying it's a good stigma to have, because this is like a stigma that's across the board for hardcore like gamers. Like you have your average gamers, you have your like, hey, this is just something I do when I'm bored. And then you have your hardcore gamers, right? Like, do you still consider yourself a hardcore gamer? Even though you have less time, do you still consider yourself a hardcore gamer?
Yeah.
I consider myself a hardcore gamer. I feel like people who play mobile games aren't really looking at like what's going on PS4, PS5, Xbox, PC. They're not really like paying attention to that. They're really just paying attention to like, hey, like I just want to play a game that's on my phone and that's it. Like that to me. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that's wrong. But I feel like there's different stages, right? Like, you know,
and you make a good point.
Like I feel like, you know, PC gamers always rave about PC Master Race, right? Whereas like console gamers, there's like always this war between like there was a war between console gaming and PC gaming.
Yeah.
But like I feel like with console gaming, there's like an evolution, right?
Yeah.
You're on console gaming, you get older, you get your own money, and then eventually you're like, you know what? I want to take a little dip into PC gaming. And then you get into PC gaming and it's like it's a whole new world. And then you don't really go back to console gaming.
You're right.
You kind of like you're a butterfly and you finally hatch from a cocoon and you go to the next stage, which is PC. But I feel like on mobile gaming there really isn't that stage. It's like, can you imagine kids who play Roblox? And I'm not saying anything bad about Roblox, but can you imagine them like playing Uncharted 4?
No.
Why?
Yeah, you make a good point, and I'm kind of in I'm trying to get the words out, but
You're slow. I get it.
Yeah, I am. But like I can't picture my nephew playing Uncharted 4 because it's not like, I feel we're in a generation where like Fortnite is the way to go, right?
It's the only thing to play.
It's like go back to 2009.
Yeah.
Right? COD was the wave. Right?
Yeah.
COD was the wave. And since it was the wave, there was a lot of kids that just played COD just because everybody was playing it. That's it.
Right.
And then they say they hit an age and they never played games again. Right? I feel like Roblox and Fortnite is the highway to video games. You either play those games, right, and then move on with your life, or you play the games and it kind of ignites the feeling of like, yo, this is really cool. I kind of want to explore more games.
You're right.
So I think it's just a matter of, do you continue with this or just move on?
Right.
So Roblox, Fortnite, I feel like they're definitely the wave.
Yeah.
And you know, when you're young, you kind of want to go with what your friends are doing. You're doing it because your friends are doing it. That's it.
Right.
But Uncharted 4, it's a game that you wouldn't play because of your friends are playing.
Right. It's kind of along the lines of like, you know how there's tech enthusiasts, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's people who genuinely want to know what the latest tech thing is, whether it's a monitor, whether it's a computer, whether it's like a microphone, phone, anything, right? And those people are genuinely interested in tech across the board, which is a very select few of people. But the average consumer, like, you know, is like, hey, I have the latest iPhone. I don't really know what specs are in it though. I don't know the megapixels. I don't know the resolution that my screen has. I don't know those details. I don't really care about it.
Right.
So I kind of see it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Where like you have tech enthusiasts who are they know everything there's to know about the phone that they have, or the computer that they have, or whatever tech thing that they have, and they can tell you verbatim about the newest stuff that's coming out. And those are the people who are enthusiasts. And then you have people who just have the thing just to have it because they don't really care about the specs. They just know that it's a good phone. And so like that's kind of along the lines of how I consider mobile gaming. And this isn't everybody, but like when I can think of mobile gaming, I think of it as people who don't really care about gaming. They're not gaming enthusiasts. They're like, hey, this is something I can do on my phone. It's like social media. It's like it's something I can do on my phone when I'm bored.
Yeah.
It's not something I consider a hobby. And that's kind of how I see mobile gaming, but like that's me being a little bit more closed-minded to gaming. And that's why it's not just me. There's other people that probably think more along the lines of how we're thinking, but that's why there's such a stigma behind mobile gaming. That, and like from a traditional gamer standpoint, like from you or I or anyone else that are similar to us, you have instances of shovelware. Do you know what shovelware is?
Elaborate.
Shovelware is like, have you ever seen those games where all you have to do is press X 100 times and you can get a platinum trophy?
Yeah.
That's considered shovelware. It's games that don't really have much of a purpose. It's really just for like trophies. Or it's just like they're games that you pay for on either PlayStation, Nintendo, or Xbox, and they're really poorly made games by like very, very small developers who are just trying to make money and don't care about like developing a game. And they're broken, they're buggy, they're really low budget, they're not like, there's no effort in creating them. And what ends up happening is like PlayStation or Nintendo will let a lot of these games on their library, and then people buy them, and they're not really like games at all. Really, they're just, it's like
there's a lot of games like that.
Spin in a circle for 300 times to get a platinum trophy, and that's it. That's literally all the purpose is. So like shovelware is something that has been around for a while, but like you get a lot of that through mobile gaming. Like at least like when mobile gaming was starting, like you have like look at all the ads that you get on YouTube for like these like bubble games or those games that technically don't exist.
Yeah, they're making games for a fake game that claims to be real.
Exactly. The King one is the most notorious one. The one with the king, and you gotta save him from a burning building, and then you gotta or you pull the keys, and like you gotta drop some rocks. So
and then
he
the
doesn't.
Ones that you gotta do math.
Yeah,
like you gotta plus 50 or.
It's like anybody can do these games, and they clearly look like clickbait.
But I'm not gonna lie, they kind of like damn. It's like you know what to do, but the ad does exactly the opposite.
Because it wants you to
exactly.
Wants you to download it, and then you get the actual thing, and you're like, "This is not at all what they were promoting."
It's like you move a finger, ad.
You know what has that a lot? Duolingo. Oh, you don't. You have You had Super, so you didn't really experience that. But like, if you don't pay for Duolingo, you get ads for Clash Battle Royale or whatever it is, the one with the king, and like you can do like these little. You can play the games, but it's like download now, and it's like the games aren't really games. They're just like they should. And the question is like, why not make the actual game? Because you'll make tons of money off of people downloading the game anyway and buying it. Like I don't understand. But like there's a lot of shovelware, and like I feel like mobile gaming. I'm pretty sure mobile gaming really introduced that. I imagine that it's kind of more of a collaborative effort between platforms like Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. I think it just kind of became more of a thing.
You know what game I consider a mobile game like true and true?
Resident Evil 7.
Like it won't work. What? No.
Resident Evil 7.
Like no. Okay, Resident Evil 7, right?
It's on.
It is on mobile, but you could play it on your console. You can play it on your TV. But what mobile game do you consider a true mobile game that it just doesn't work on the TV. It has to be your phone.
Well, I would like Angry Birds or something like that.
No, you could play that on your console.
I would never play that on my console.
But I'm saying if they can move that game to a console and it will be playable on your console. But you know what game can't be playable on your console that it has to be on your phone?
What?
Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
you're right.
That to me is done perfectly. Like that is a mobile game true and true. Like if you go hard on Pokemon Go, I would consider you like a gamer.
Okay.
I mean, no. Let's say because
you're a fraud.
Because no, I would consider you a
fraud.
Was that a mobile gamer?
Okay.
Games like that. We don't have a lot of games like that. Like imagine, for example, like let's use the phone's functionality and apply it to a game. For example, let's say there's a game that has the whole world mapped out. Okay. And you can only play in New York if you are in New York. So like, oh, you're on vacation. You're in New York for the weekend. You pull up your phone and the game is in New York.
Right.
Could you imagine a game like that? Like I would actually would be interested in this game. And it's the same concept as Pokemon Go. If you think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
But that would be insane. I'm actually surprised I haven't seen a lot more games like that.
Like Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think that there are. So the benefit of Pokemon Go is, or at least why Nintendo's able to pull that off, is because Pokemon's established. It has the Pokemon. It has the concept behind it. You would literally have to create how many different creatures or things to capture. Yeah. To do something similar. Yeah, but the IP already has to exist.
Yeah, but you could do Marvel could do this. Can they? No, they can't. It's more of like even Disney. I feel like Disney, like you said, established IPs could do something like this to make it big.
I mean, I guess you could do what would be cool, at least from a fighting standpoint, like you have Street Fighter type of thing. Yeah. And there's a specific there's specific matches based on locations that you go to.
That'll be dope.
Like, oh, I'm in this area and other people are in this area too. Like I can trigger battles in this area.
Yeah, and then you could collect them and bring them back home or something. Like that would be super cool.
Yeah.
Like I would actually be more interested in mobile gaming if it
did more of that.
If it's location based.
Yeah.
Because you're taking it with you.
It also makes people want to travel more and get out and go do more stuff. Yeah. But the one last issue and stigma that's behind mobile gaming is there's ad overload in a lot of mobile games. Especially the free versions.
Yeah, no, you're right. And that's a problem. Imagine ads. I mean, they've been trying to implement them in regular games.
They have. You're like, I don't want to go into it.
But then again, would you spend $70 on a mobile game?
See, never. But the thing is, if I'm spending $70 on a game, I expect no ads in my game.
Right. That's what I mean. But nobody's gonna pay $70 for a mobile game. At least not now.
No.
You get what I mean? So somehow they have to have some money. Like microtransactions can only get you so far because the stigma behind microtransactions.
Yeah, but that's the big breadwinner between gaming in general. Microtransactions make the bulk of the money now. Right. That's why every company has gone that route.
And that's if you have a game that has an ecosystem that works with microtransactions. Yeah. And you have to probably spend a lot of time and pay developers to do this. And I feel like not every studio, mobile game studio, has this. Mm-hmm. But I feel like a lot of people or a lot of developers just take, I don't want to say this, but it kind of looks like that to me. Like they want to take the easier route and just put ads on it to make a revenue.
Well, this kind of goes into more of a longer conversation. We gotta move on to the third part. True. But that ends up going to the point of the issue now, and this is we'll kind of touch base on this later on in the podcast, but the issue now is that game developers can't take risks like they used to. They just can't. I
get that.
Games are at a very volatile standpoint right now, or they're in a very volatile era right now.
It could be crashing or it could go up.
Yeah, it's either going to be good or it's going to be really bad. So like the chances of taking risks on new games is very, very low. So like that's why most games will throw microtransactions in them, because it's like, hey, I need to make a game, and that's why people do live service too, is because they can get money. But the issue is, and we've talked about this in other podcast episodes, is that like there's not enough people or time for like 50,000 different live service games.
Yeah.
You can only dedicate your time to like 1 to maybe 3 live service games.
And they all want it. They all want you to be like, all for them.
Yeah. And so like if you don't put microtransactions, and if you're not doing a live service game, then you really have to dedicate a lot of your time to making a really good game that's going to sell a lot, which is like, unless you're a credible game studio like Bifrost or Naughty Dog or Santa Monica or Bethesda, like or even like a publisher like Activision, like you're not going to be making a crazy amount of money because you're not pumping out these AAA games. Now, like even indie games, as popular as some of them are, like some of them don't make what the figures are of what like a AAA game would make. Now you go to Balatro and that's a completely different story. But like a game has to hit like that. And in order for a game to hit like that, like it's very rare. It's not like it happens all the time. Whereas like you would make games back in the day or like years ago, or like completely new PS2, PS3 era, they would make completely not generic, but new and unique ideas. They can't really do that now. You have to play it safe. So that's kind of the issue. Like it's either you throw ads in it or you throw microtransactions to make sure you have like you're gaining revenue, because you can't just rely on the sales of a game anymore. You have to make money elsewhere.
and you're right. A lot of people are playing it safe.
Yeah.
Going with already established IPs. For example, Marvel Rivals.
Yeah.
You know, it could have been a good game, but it was a great game. But we have to give a lot of the credit to the IP.
Yeah, Marvel Rivals, like honestly, like as great of a game as it is, we have to give it credit for where it comes from. I mean, a lot of the stuff that it has in it is mobile gaming-esque.
Yeah.
So that. I mean, like I could imagine playing Marvel Rivals on my phone.
True.
I could imagine it.
Online?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
I would see more of like against like NPCs and stuff like that, but
nope. I could see a PvP that Marvel Rivals exactly as it is, but on your phone.
Because a lot of mobile games, like when you take online matches, are not real time.
Yeah.
That's the next big step.
Yeah.
To be like real time. But yeah.
But that kind of like that brings us to our next point, that mobile gaming has changed the industry of gaming for what we know it as today forever. And whether we like it or not, mobile gaming has made an impact on traditional gaming, and it will continue to make an impact. How it'll change from here, that's anybody's guess. But like you have, and I'm gonna move kind of quickly to the end through this point, but like you have companies that are focusing more on mobile first strategies. So they're prioritizing for mobile more than they are prioritizing for console.
Yep.
And game developers used to prioritize more for powerful PCs, but now they're just finding themselves accounting for like, how can we get this game for like everybody? Because that's where we're going to make the most amount of money.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's no like target audience. They want to make the target audience everyone.
Yeah. If you had to say, what's your favorite mobile game?
My favorite mobile game.
Yep.
Currently, I have to say is Marvel Snap and
Clash
of Clans.
Mm-hmm.
I like the building aspect of it.
Yeah.
But Marvel Snap is just a card game. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
But
you probably like Balatro then.
I haven't tried that.
I haven't either. It doesn't look like it would interest me, but apparently it's more than a card game.
I have to see. And then Call of Duty Mobile is cool, but I'd rather play it on console.
It's just more Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. What's your favorite way to play games in general?
Games in general, monitor. Just give me a monitor and a controller. Console.
Okay, but
console or PC?
What if
controller.
what if you had an iPad and then you just connected your iPad to your phone? Is that not the same?
It
thing?
has to. I hate delay. Like I hate
the latency.
Yeah, like for example, that's the whole reason I bought the PlayStation Portal and returned it the same day, because like what's the point if I need precision.
Yeah,
I need precision. Like if I'm pressing the button, I need the character to do that at that exact moment. Mm-hmm. If it's a 5 millisecond response, I'm okay with that. But it's when you take it to the PlayStation Portal and you just have an average like Wi-Fi, average internet connection. Yeah, it's just not gonna work. Yeah, and same thing with streaming Xbox Game Pass on your phone. Yeah. So like the minute they know how to work around that, like how to work around the delay and make it almost instant, like 5 to 10 second millisecond response time. Yeah, I'll probably dive more into it and explore it more because I do it on the Switch, so why not? Yeah. And I don't know about the Steam Deck. I haven't really tried, but I don't know how. I don't think there's delay on that.
No, because you're downloading games off the library.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that. Yeah. But I think it would be really cool if I had an iPad and a controller, carry that around. No delay. That would be cool. Yeah. Like especially if you travel a lot. But yeah.
I would say my favorite mobile game is not. If I'll pick a traditional mobile game, it would probably be either Jetpack Joyride or Doodle Jump. Doodle Jump, those are some OG ones, but OG. I wouldn't say this is my favorite mobile app. It's called Delta, and most people have heard about that. But it's an emulator, and you can play a whole bunch of Game Boy Advance, DS, and Game Boy.
You spent a lot of time on that, actually.
Yeah, right? I think by far for me that is the most like entertaining way to play games, because it's like, to me, playing Pokemon or any other like mobile game on the go, or it's not a mobile game, but like any DS game or Game Boy game on the go is like super convenient. It's an emulator on your phone. I know emulators have been around for a while for phones, especially Androids, but now that it's on iPhone, the game changer. Like it's not exactly a game, but it has like thousands of games I can play, and I prefer. Like, I would never play Pokemon on an emulator on my PC. I would prefer it on my phone 1,000 times over.
Why? It just brings you the vibe of like Game Boy.
Yeah, it gives me the vibe of Game Boy. Like it reminds me of that. And it's just on a bigger screen.
I know somebody who would rather play Game Boy games on a screen,
like a big screen.
85 inch. Wow. And they're okay with it. It amazes me, but I was like, wow.
Hey, you're an interesting fella. I'll say that. Yep.
And they do have them.
Yeah. My favorite way to play is obviously on console. Give me a controller and a console. Yeah. I'll play anything. I don't think I would ever play keyboard and mouse ever, unless the game only required that. But even on PC, I would choose to play on a controller.
Yeah, you feel like I feel like a person who loves that they had to be born. I mean, not born. They had to grow up playing that.
Yeah. I don't know, something about like clicking keys. What is it? WASD, WASD, like, and then using your mouse. Like, I don't know. I just feel like a controller is just way more like intuitive than using a keyboard and mouse. Like, to me, I think that's more of like, hey, I'm doing work on my computer, not playing a game. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you'd be amazed how crazy the flick of that mouth could.
Oh, bro, like you can whip that thing across to your mat. Yeah. You can whip that thing so hard, like sloppily, like however you want. Like it's like you could throw baby oil all over it.
like if you're playing COD, like usually I don't mind playing against PC players, but then there's this one PC player that knows how to really, yup, and knows how to really do it.
You hear that?
Because not everyone who plays PC is that good at it. Because I could, but there's usually like 1 in 1,000 or something that like they know they really know how to control that.
Yeah.
But yeah. You're corny as hell, bro.
Way to call me out on the podcast, P. It's just stupid. It's just something stupid I could do.
I love it though.
No, you don't. Leisurely news from the Leisure Hub podcast, boys. Ninja Gaiden 4.
Ninja Gaiden
was just announced at a Xbox Developer Direct as of today, January 23rd, 2025. And it's going to be available on Xbox Series X, S, PC, via Steam, and PS5. This is also, we're reading this from the IGN website, usually where I go from all my games. I know IGN gets a bad rap with their reviews, but they cover a lot of things and they're fairly quick with it. I guess you could also say GameSpot is like pretty quick with it too, but it's usually like it's either, if not IGN, it's probably GameSpot, or Polygon, or that's like the other one that I'm going to. So Ninja Gaiden 4 is going to be published by Xbox Studios and in development at Platinum Games, the creator of Bayonetta and Nier Automata. The Team Ninja collaborating, or the company or the developer is called Team Ninja. Yeah, what do you think about that, P?
It looks pretty loyal.
Honestly, bro, it looks so good
to the original.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see, how it actually plays rather than just seeing it on the trailer. But
honestly, like growing up, I played Ninja Gaiden like only once, and it was on the Xbox, the OG Xbox. And it's notoriously a game that's extremely hard. But after being like a true gamer, not a mobile gamer, but a true gamer, playing Dark Souls and all of those other games, I feel like now that I'm older, I'm wiser, my motor skills are definitely way more established. I feel like I could play this, and I'm sure I would have one hell of a time playing this. But watching the gameplay alone just made me extremely, extremely excited. And like
right now.
And I was like, honestly, dude, I never really cared about Ninja Gaiden, but now that I see this, I want to play it. Like, there's the notorious Ninja Gaiden 3, I think it is, that like it's just way too hard, like for a lot of people. And I kind of like, I feel like they won't go that hard. I feel like it'll be way more balanced, but it's just something that I'm like super interested in trying for 2025.
When is that coming out? 2025? What?
It was just announced today. I don't know if it has a release date on it. Yeah, the last Ninja Gaiden game that came out was 13 years ago. So, doesn't look. The game was just announced. I don't see a release date. It says it's due out fall 2025 for all of those consoles I mentioned again. So Xbox Series X and S, PC, via Steam, and PS5. And it'll be day one Xbox Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Yep.
Wow, Game Pass is winning, bro.
And I don't have it.
I still
don't need it.
I still gotta try out that Indiana Jones
It
game.
Overwhelms me too much. I'll wait for for that to come to PlayStation. Game Pass overwhelms me. It's too much. I would just much rather have a game one at a time instead of a whole library. Yeah. I know it sounds stupid, but I don't know.
No, I mean, I feel the same way. It's overwhelming. It's good when you have children though. Like coming from a dad, like
it does.
Like
and cost wise.
Yeah, my daughter just like goes through that. Hey, I want to play this game.
Yeah. But it almost brings a sense of doom.
Yeah.
The library brings a sense of doom.
Yeah, because you're an adult, you got things to do.
Yeah.
And then there's like, yo, I got so many games, but I got not enough time.
But you know what I mean by that, right?
I know.
Okay. I was like, does he catch this transition or not? So Doom: The Dark Ages releases on May 15th. Did I say sorry, May 13th. There's the Doom: The Dark Ages Standard Edition. They have the Premium Edition, the Premium Upgrade.
You get?
And then they have a pre-order bonus where you can get some extra cosmetics and stuff like that. Which, if you're kind of going back to like the whole microtransactions things, this isn't a microtransaction, but actually, when you pre-ordered a game, a traditional game, like you would get extra skins and stuff like that. So I think they kind of just mainstreamed that.
That's a good incentive,
But this one, he has a gauntlet now, and he has a shield. And one of the game developers was talking about like some of the inspirations that they pulled from it, and one of the movies that they referenced was 3000.
300.
Fuck. 300.
It would have been nice if they had 3000, but they only had 300.
Yeah, 300.
That's a good movie.
I know you're a big Doom guy. What are your thoughts?
See, the reason why I'm excited, bro, like, all right, you went from Doom 2016. All right, we're talking about the whole reboot. From Doom 2016.
You consider this a reboot?
I would say so.
It's not a reboot.
2016?
No, this one. Dark Age.
No, Doom 2000. I'm talking about Doom 2016.
Oh, yeah, that's a reboot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was great. I was really great. I loved it. Platinumed it. And then it's one of those games that you don't know how they can make it better,
Yeah.
Because it was so good. And then Doom Eternal comes out. It's like, wow, like they really made it better.
Yeah.
It has new mechanics, stuff you can do. Like, I enjoyed it, like, true and true. And then you're thinking, ain't no way it can get better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, bam, and it's like it's Doom. It's Doom. It has the same concept, but they got new mechanics, new this, new that, and it's like I really wish some other developer studios took this as an example. Like, for example, all right,
Spider-Man 2.
Yes.
There we go. See, you and I, same wavelength, baby. Let's go. I'm going to
Let's go.
Sleep over, spend the night.
Okay.
All
right. But you exactly, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you can have the same game, but just make it better.
That's the epitome of saying, like, hey, I don't really like this logo, and I'm explaining this in the sense of a graphic designer way, just because like Pedro's a graphic designer. But hey, I don't really like this logo. Can you make it better? Yeah, you're not really giving me anything.
Yeah, right.
That's the caliber of what you're saying.
And
but
it just surprises you, and it is what you expect.
Yeah,
it's just it's good, but it's different.
Yeah.
And like it feels like three different games. Like Doom 2016 no longer feels old. It just feels like a different version with like, it's, I mean, you would rather pay it first because it probably has the more simplistic mechanics because of what you've seen in Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
But it's still a different than Doom Eternal. Yeah. Now it's kind of like standalone. Like,
yeah.
Sorry.
No. You're good. Good. I can tell you're excited. You're hard.
Yeah,
from
it, it amazes me how they can do this because you don't expect it to. Ain't no way this could be better.
Yeah,
but
yeah, now that you say that, I agree with you because it's like I feel like more games should follow that like that track because like I think a lot of issues that games have from iteration from sequel to sequel is just that, like Spider-Man 2. I know, like we just mentioned that, but there's. Spider-Man 2 had a lot in it. It had a lot. Like, new gameplay mechanics. It had Venom. It had, like, 2 villains in it. It had... You could swap between 2 characters. Like, between Miles and Peter. Like, they had a lot. But it's something about, like, this gameplay in Doom, The Dark Ages, that just sets the bar even higher for Doom. Like... Because I literally, when you said that, I was like, yeah, actually, I thought the same exact thing. Yeah. Like I played Doom, and I really liked Doom, and then I played Doom Eternal, liked that one too.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh, another Doom game. I feel like they there's no way that they can make this better than Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is already like the bar.
And then you look at that gameplay, it's like, I need to play this.
Yeah,
now.
it's like, I want this. I want it. It's like
now.
Yeah, and it's like that's the kind of like standard that I feel like sequels should follow.
Yeah.
It's like not necessarily like copying the game mechanics or anything like that by any means, but like finding new ways to set the bar higher than what you did, because it's like, yeah, you made a game 5 years ago, but there's more game mechanics now there's more game mechanics 5 years in the future. Yeah. So it's like, what are you laughing about?
Nothing, bro. I can't laugh. I'm full of joy, bro.
You're lucky we have one more point. We're gonna move on.
You know. Anyways, go ahead.
Phantom Blade Zero. This one will be quick. This game was announced a while ago. People didn't think the game was real. The people were like, "There's no way this combat, this movement even exists."
That was insane.
Yes, I'll put up a small clip of it.
I just saw this trailer today. He showed me,
and the movement in it, nuts. So like in this trailer, you can spot at the very end of this trailer, it'll say like the snake sword, and it says number 13. Yeah. Which leads me to believe, and Pedro had the same reaction, but leads me to believe that there's other weapons that you're going to be able to collect. At least 20 in the 20s, because there's another sword that they showed, and it was like 23 or 27 or something like that number. 23 or 27.
Something like that.
So there's going to be some different weapons, and basically each weapon has its own unique fighting style.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Which is dope. Yeah. It's literally like Ghost of Tsushima, but on steroids, if you think about it. Because like he has 4 stances, but this is like you have like 20 some different swords that you can use.
And it looks like a Souls game. Do you think it's gonna be like another Souls? Like Black Myth Wukong?
I think it's gonna be more along the lines of Sekiro. But what I was hesitant to talk to you about before this podcast is like, I think it's giving me Black Myth Wukong vibes.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
And I really, really hope that story wise, it's better, and gameplay wise, it's better than Black Myth Wukong. I know a lot of people really, 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 really like Black Myth Wukong, but my issue with it is that like the game was good. To me, it was like about like a 6.8 to 7, and the only reason why is because the story was a little hard for me to follow. Because it was just, there's so many bosses. I didn't even finish the game. Honestly, I kind of got bored of playing it. Like it's just kind of like, I don't want to say lackluster because that's not fair to the game. Stop.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, see, I lost my train of thought. I'm done.
No, you said lackluster.
I don't want to say it's lackluster, but like I would say it felt like it was missing like character development or like world building. Like it felt like it was just it felt like it was one giant poem. And I know it's like like a lore type of thing, but it felt like one giant poem that I had to decrypt, but not in a good way. Yeah, like Dark Souls, I want to know more about it, but Black Myth Wukong, I was like, I could take it or leave it. I have no idea what's going on. Like it was all so random that I'm like, what is going on right now? Like I don't. It's not cohesive in any way. Yeah, and like you could say that about Elden Ring, but like I don't know. Like it intrigued me. The story, like the environment intrigued me. Whereas like Black Myth didn't really do that. But like the last thing I was gonna say about this is that the Black Myth also lacked like oomph. Like when you hit an enemy with the staff, like it didn't really feel like it was hitting. Like
that I agree with.
And that was my struggle with it. It's like I want mechanics. Yeah, the mechanics. It's like I know they were newer for console gaming, because they originally only were used to make mobile games. But like God of War, for example, or if you're playing like Tekken or you're playing any fighter game, like when you fight, or Mortal Kombat, when you're punching, there's like this sense of like you're doing a lot of damage. Yeah, you know. But when you play as Black Myth, it kind of feels like you're hitting like air.
No, you're right
in a way.
It did feel that way.
So I hope that Phantom Blade Zero doesn't have that problem. It fixes it has a better story. It's a little bit more cohesive, and the game mechanics in terms of like fighting wise actually delivers a whole lot more.
With Sekiro?
But yeah, I also think it's gonna be like a Sekiro, more like it.
I hope it is.
Yeah,
like it's kind of it looks like a mixture of Sekiro and Black Myth.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Damn, that's all you had to say about it?
Yeah.
You're not a true gamer.
I'm not, and the reason why I don't have much to say because I just seen the trailer, right? And I don't know, man. I'm kind of tired of Souls. I like Souls games. Don't get me wrong, but they cause me like I'm fatigued. You know, like it's like I need a break from them. Like once I play them, like once I play one game of that genre, like I need a break.
Yeah,
you know,
and I feel you.
And it's not that I don't like them. It's not that they're bad. It's just that like
it's the same thing.
I know another one, and it's very popular right now. It's very popular right now. Every developer wants to make
a Souls game.
Yeah,
Souls like,
and I get it. They're cool. They're fun. They're challenging. But man, I need a break.
Yeah, I feel that. It's just like when it's just one. It's like if you're constantly watching action movies. Yeah. Like back to back, it's like eventually you get a little fatigued. It's like, okay, I still enjoy this thing, but I want something else. Like you get tired of the flavor,
right?
And I'm kind of tired of talking right now.
Yeah, me too.
So I think we should end it.
Let's end it right here, right now.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the latest episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. Foodcast. Pood. We are your lovely, handsome, devilish hosts, Justin and
Pedro.
And we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Leader Hub podcast.
Yeah, you good?
You know me, cut. All right, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Love you. Stay tuned for the next big release because it's going to be wild. Hype up for the next episode because this is going to be something we've never done before.
For real?
Pedro is doing knife swallowing in the next.
This is the first. This is news to me.
Don't cut that. Don't cut the thing I was just doing. No. Anyway, we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.
See you.